Good day, everyone. So, for the third session of this course, we will be tackling about the introduction to quality management systems in the IT-BPM industry. So, for the session objectives, at the end of this session, the students should be able to first describe globally recognized quality management and describe the Philippine Quality Award. So ISO was founded in 1947 and has since then published more than 19,000 international standards covering almost all aspects of technology and business, from food safety to computers and agriculture to healthcare. The main goal of ISO is to ensure that products and services are safe, reliable, and of good quality. So, Introduction to ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization. It is a worldwide federation of national standards bodies, and international standards are formulated by ISO technical committees. Draft international standards adopted by the technical committees are circulated to the member national standards bodies for voting. Publication as an international standard requires approval by at least 75% of the member bodies voting. So, we will look at the significance of ISO certification in the next few slides. So, here, there are several ISO standards where certification can be achieved, and one of them is ISO 9001 2008. So ISO defines the elements of quality management system. ISO can be used by any organization, large or small, regardless of its field of activity. And ISO implemented by over a million companies or organizations in over 170 countries. So this specifies requirements for a quality management system where an organization first can demonstrate its ability to consistently provide products that meets customer and applicable regulatory requirements, and second, it is capable of enhancing customer satisfaction through an effective quality management system including processes for continual improvements. So, the bullet 4 states that the eight principles are not elements against which the organization can be directly assessed. They are what the International Standards Organization believes these eight principles to be the key philosophies of a successful quality minded organization. So, the first one is the customer focus. All organizations depend on their customers and therefore should understand current and future customer needs, should meet customer requirements, and strive to exceed customer expectations. The second one is leadership. Leaders should establish unity of purpose and direction of the organization. They should create and maintain an environment in which people can become fully involved in achieving the organization's objectives. The third one is involvements of people. People at all levels are the essence of an organization, and their full involvement enables their abilities to be used for the organization's benefit. Next one is process approach. A desired result is achieved more efficiently when activities and related resources are managed as a process. The next one is the system approach to management. Identifying, understanding, and managing interrelated processes as a system contributes to the organization's effectiveness and efficiency in achieving its objectives. The next one is continual improvement. Continuous improvement of the organization's overall performance should be a permanent objective of the organization. Next is the factual approach to decision making. Effective decisions are based on the analysis of data and information. And the last one is the mutually beneficial supplier relationships. An organization and its suppliers are interdependent, and a mutually beneficial relationship enhances the ability of both to create a value. Now, let's look at the first bullet. So, to achieve certification, an organization must use the standards of ISO 9001 2008 to establish and to update their quality management system. So the list of QMS requirements during audit is pretty long, but here are some examples. Develop your quality management systems. Establish, document, implement, maintain, and improve your organization's process-based QMS. On the second bullet, audits are normally done by the organization's quality team. Some invite an independent certification body to verify that it is in conformity to the standard, but there is no requirement for this. So in general, audits asks two types of questions. First is mandatory quality management requirements, which allows two responses options. Yes, which is you're in compliance with the standard, or no, you're not in compliance with the standard. And the second one is requirements that may be excluded or ignored under some special circumstances, which offer three responses: yes, no, or not applicable. An NA response option is provided because you may exclude or ignore some requirements if you can justify doing so. Once the audit questions are answered, we are ready to summarize our audit, calculate compliance scores, draw general audit conclusions, and make and implement recommendations to address compliance problems, if any. Otherwise, you will be issued a certification of registration, clearly outlining the scope of your certification. The reasons a company may decide to seek certification have one thing in common, and that can benefit an organization in one way or another. Some organizations may find the cost prohibitive. Process-oriented companies go through the effort and allot resources because the benefits outweigh the cost. ISO creates the standards, but other companies offer the certifications. Examples are the Smithers, ISOCAR, Mass Quality, BSI Group. Teleperformance and Winsource are some of the IT-BPM companies that have achieved ISO certification. So let us first look at bullets 1 and 2. So in 1996, a group of companies who were utilizing the services of IT-BPM companies joined together to draft the first standard to measure performance of the IT-BPM companies. So these call center users include companies such as Microsoft, Dell, and Intel. These companies came together because at the time, there was no widely used benchmark to highlight top performing call centers from their competitors. Now, for bullets 3 and 4, COPC has evolved and is already offering certifications for different areas and functions in the IT BPM industry, including vendor management and healthcare. Now, the standard drafted in 1996 became the first edition of the COPC 2000 CSP standard. After the first standard was developed, COPC Incorporated was formed to help promote it. So to ensure that the standards keep up with the IT-BPM industry, the entire COPC family of standards is reviewed annually. The first two bullets state that to achieve certification, companies are required to first implement high performance processes, achieve a specific level of customer contact performance or sustained improvement, and typical customer contact environments that would be appropriate for the COPC CSP standard include customer service centers and technical support centers. The third bullet shows us the key expectations that need to be met in order for a company to achieve COPC certification. COPC certification is especially useful in organizations with multiple sites to ensure that key processes are consistently deployed across all facilities. Most IT BPMs operate in different geographical sites, so COPC can be used to validate and certify that whatever performance improvement activities are successfully deployed, implemented, and sustained across the entire enterprise, no matter the location. Description of the four critical work processes that can be certified by COPC. The first is the quality process that outlines the quality evaluation and analysis of customer interactions. The customer satisfaction, which is the process that outlines customer satisfaction or CSAT management. Workforce management. This is a process that outlines forecasting of customer demands and scheduling employees to support it. And the last one is recruiting, hiring, and training, which is the process that outlines how a company will acquire employee and
Moving on to the CMMI maturity levels, note that CMMI or Capability Maturity Model Integration is a process improvement approach that can be used to guide process improvement across a project, a division, or an entire organization. With that, processes are rated according to their maturity levels. Starting off with level 1, initial, it is the starting point for use of a new or undocumented repeat process. Next is the level 2, repeatable. The process of this is at least documented sufficiently such that repeating the same steps may be attempted. Level 3 is the process is defined or confirmed as a standard business process and decomposed to levels 0, 1, and 2. Up next is level 4, managed. This process is quantitatively managed in accordance with agreed upon metrics. Finally, the last level, level 5, optimizing, where the process management includes deliberate process optimization or improvement. CMMI is originated in software engineering but has been highly generalized over the years to embrace other areas of interest, such as the development of hardware products, the delivery of all kinds of services, and the acquisition of products and services. Standard CMMI appraisal method for process improvement, or SCAMPI, appraisal method for organization process evaluation and grant of ratings. In order for an organization to be officially appraised for CMMI, an external certified team of appraisers must conduct a review of the objective evidence that would support the CMMI practices and goals required for the given certification. Looking at the benefits of SCAMPI, we can say that this is a major undertaking with a small team of external auditors, collecting information then analyzing this information to provide an appropriate rating. In addition to the actual rating, the appraisal team will make recommendations on which process areas have deficient evidence that support the presence of a given practice or goal. To add to this, by the way, Accenture is one of the IT-BPM companies that have achieved CMMI certification. The audit team would also advise the organization on how to bridge gaps for future appraisals. One major benefit of such an extensive external appraisal is to give an organization an insight into the strengths and weaknesses of their current processes. Moving on to the e-sourcing capability model for service providers, or ESCMSP, it is a framework developed by ITSQZ at Carnegie Mellon University. The advantages of these are it helps sourcing organizations manage and reduce their tasks. It also helps improve capabilities across the entire sourcing life cycle. It addresses IT-enabled sourcing for both outsourced and insourced arrangements. Many service providers use the ESCMSP and capability determination methods to evaluate their e-sourcing capabilities. It is composed of 84 best practices for each of these lists of activities, and clarifying information are provided. In addition, the ESCMSP is a best practices capability model with three purposes. One is to give IT-BPM companies guidance that will help them improve their capability across the sourcing life cycle. Second is to provide clients with an objective means of evaluating the capability of service providers, and to offer IT-BPM companies a standard to use when differentiating themselves from competitors. There are 5 levels of organizations in ESCMSP capability levels. Level 1 organization, company is able to provide basic support, can provide a service and is able to meet customer expectations but not consistently. Level 2 organization. Company has procedures to ensure targets set by the customers are met consistently. Level 3. Company manages performance consistently across managements. Is also able to ensure targets are met consistently across departments. Level 4. Adds value to the services they provide through continuous improvement and game-changing innovations. And Level 5. Sustaining excellence and best-in-class performance. Note that achieving a higher ESCMSP levels indicates an IT-BPM company's capability in terms of handling a client's business. The IT-BPM companies that have achieved this ESCMSP certification are Accenture and Invoice. Going over to the PQA or Philippine Quality Award, it was created by Executive Order 448 on October 3, 1997, which was late President Fidel Ramos's term and then institutionalized through Republic Act 9013 on February 28, 2001. In an era of globalization, the Philippine product and process quality is being challenged strongly by foreign competitors. This spurred the initiative to come up with the PQA, to set a standard of excellence to help Filipino organizations achieve a world-class performance and serve as a template for competitiveness based on the principles of Total Quality Management or TQM. Now with the PQA objectives, we have here to establish standards, to formulate assessment process, and to recognize champions. PQA has established a system to evaluate and recognize Philippine organizations' quality and productivity. PQA's main objective is to help Philippine organizations to, again, achieve world-class performance. Companies who apply for the award will get a rigorous evaluation by an expert PQA panel of assessors using internationally recognized performance standards. Now, if a company wins the Philippine Quality Award for performance, their exceptional management practices become benchmarks and serve as models for other organizations that are on a similar journey to performance excellence. On the other hand, organizations that have applied for but could not fully meet the requirements of the award for performance excellence may still receive any of the following PQA recognition categories, which are: first, recognition for mastery in quality management, wherein the organization should have demonstrated superior results clearly linked to robust management systems. Next is recognition for proficiency in quality management, wherein the organization should have demonstrated through implementation of quality and productivity management principles. And lastly, the recognition for a commitment to quality management, wherein organization should have demonstrated its serious commitment to improvement. Diving into the PQA criteria, these are the key areas that will be evaluated for quality excellence when an organization is being assessed. Leadership capability of the organization, strategic planning or framework that supports the long-term business direction of the organization, customer and market focus, the importance given to the customer requirements, information and analysis, the ability to make decisions based on data and analysis. Next is human resource focus, which is the organization's capability to manage its people. Next, process management, a structure that supports quality management. Lastly, business or organizational results, which is an evidence of excellent results. To sum it all up, we've discussed the 4 quality management systems or standards. Under them are first, ISO 9001, 2008 standards and its 8 principles. Second is COPC standards formulated by a private US company. Third, CMMI capability model and its 5 models. Lastly, the ESCM capability model and its 5 levels. We've also discussed the latter part of our discussion, which was the Philippine Quality Award or PQA. That's everything for quality management systems in the IT-BPM industry. And this ends our session 3. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.